A top 1% earner in the United States makes more than $550,000 per year. I hope this puts into perspective what it means to become the top 1% of something. However, how much money you make is dependent on a variety of factors, and that is what makes sim racing so interesting to me. We are all in equal machinery and under the same exact track conditions, so being in the top 1% truly means something. This time trial marks the beginning of my journey towards becoming a top 1% driver. The 787B is going to be the inaugural car for this journey. This was my first time racing at Le Mans, and it proved to be one of the most difficult time trials I've ever experienced. I usually can get within the top 5% silver medal within the first few days of the time trial, but this one took me all the way to the last day to break through. This course was tough for many reasons, one of them being the intense track limits that the stewards enforce here. Super intense track limits can be very frustrating, as you will see in a second, and add a second layer of difficulty to learning the track. You can get punished for being a pixel over the line, which can be very tilting, especially if you're on a very good start. As you can see here, this is the culmination of probably getting too many track limits in a row. Alright, so we could always focus on the negatives of this time trial, but in order to keep improving, you have to look at things you learn and areas you can improve. The most important thing that I learned from Le Mans is that the corner exit is crucial. The long straights of this circuit really punish you if you have a bad exit. It can mean the difference between a couple seconds in your time. So I tried practicing slow into the corner and fast out, which helped improve my time. The second point relates to the first. It's being smooth through the entire corner. The one area that I identified that was definitely messing up my corner, making it not smooth, was on exit. I wasn't very smooth when applying down the throttle. Often I would go from 0% to 100% power, and that would cause the wheels to spin faster than they had grip, which caused reduction in speed. Also, the occasional spin out. The main point being, smoother is faster. There's just no debating that, so always keep that in mind. You hear that often, but this course really proved it to me. This third point has to do a lot with learning the track. For me, I want to be able to identify which corners are in early or late apex much quicker. I think I would have been able to improve a lot faster. So yeah, I really want to keep that in mind for the next one. So this last tip has to do with using all the tools we have as sim racers. So we're going to want to turn on the lap splits and going to want to have the ghost set slightly ahead. This will give a better visualization of where we can improve and where we are losing / gaining time. I should have turned these on. I can't believe I haven't turned them on yet. Now that we have some new tools available and a new perspective on racing, we are now ready to visualize and attack the perfect lap, much like how Ken Miles described in Ford versus Ferrari.
Out there is the perfect lap. No mistakes. Every gear change, every corner. Perfect. You see it?
Oh, nah, I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen nothing.
This is honestly how I felt after believing I visualized the perfect lap and that I had the line figured out and still came up short. Like I was still bronze after a lot of attempts.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way, yeah.
So we definitely still had some work to do. I watched some replays and I was ready to go. Before I get into analyzing my fastest lap, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any part of the sim racer's journey to becoming a top 1% driver and you learn all the tips I learned. Also join the Discord server in the description box below to collaborate with other sim racers, and also I'll be hosting community events and races there, so join so you don't miss it. Okay, so honestly, after reviewing this replay a couple times, I realized that this wasn't a very good lap and there's a lot of room for improvement, but let's try to analyze what went wrong and what went right. So I believe through this sector I could go a little bit wider, go a little more flat out. Not a bad line through it. Maybe clip the bumps a little too much. Almost went outside the track limits. Now we enter the flat out sector. This part I think I have down. Maybe should have shifted into fourth. Not shifted down into third, just let it coast. Not a bad line though. This part is hard to nail, so focus on your exit here. You need to hit the apex, hit the bumps a little bit so you don't run too wide and get track limits. That was my main mistake. And the straights of this course, like are kind of really daunting because you're visualizing the corner ahead and you have like 20 to 30 seconds of just thinking about what you're about to do, and sometimes you can think of how you're going to mess it up. Carry enough speed through the corner, but not too much where you mess up your exit. It's really a fine balance through those chicanes. So another straightaway. This is going to be the left-right chicane. I found this one to be a little bit easier than the first one. I think the braking zone was a little more obvious. I tried to start braking at 150 meters. I think after I analyzed this the first time, I should have went further to the left on this first turn. Maybe getting both the left tires up on the rumples. I turned in right a little bit too early, and that caused me to have a not so good exit. The next corner is the slowest corner, I believe. The main problem I was facing with this corner was I didn't know exactly where the apex was. I kept either turning in too early or too late, and after doing it a couple times, I've now learned that you want to go very far left, turn in a little bit later than you think, so you don't go over the rumples and you get the best exit. So that one took me a long time to learn because I was constantly having problems with the chicane. This part is pretty easy. The braking zone at the end of the straight is not very easy. You stomp on the brake a little bit, or not even stomp, maybe a tap on the brake when because you don't want to lose too much speed going into the next left-hander. You want to carry enough speed through that, but not too much, or else you're going to end up in the gravel pit. Another tough corner to balance here.
Just gonna finish this lap.
This one turned in early to early apex. Still missed it. Went a little bit too wide, but not bad. Should have been easier on the throttle there. I kind of slammed on it in second gear, caused some wheel spin. And this part of the course, I had a lot of difficulty with because I kept crashing in the first couple of chicanes, so I wasn't very familiar with this part of the course.
Finish the lap.
So the real 24 Hours of Le Mans was on, and I actually learned the line for this sector by watching that race. However, I still am unsure about which areas I can go completely flat out. And this sector that's coming up next right here is, yeah, I have no idea how to take this one. So if you guys know, comment down below. Thank you. Always open to help. So now we just got to take this one home. We're almost there. So I went a little too narrow and took off a little too much speed. But when you're beating your time, and you know you're about to set a personal best, there's always a balance of, do you push it a little harder, or do you just go maybe 75%, so to guarantee that you're taking home and you can finish it up. So yeah, that put us in the silver. After reviewing this lap, I realized that, yeah, there's a lot of areas I can improve, a lot of places where I could potentially use more of the grip, be more flat out. So yeah, not bad though, silver, first time racing Le Mans. However, next time, and I'm definitely going to be aiming for gold. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. If I don't get gold, call me out. Catch you all in the next one.